I'm Mel Stewart, and this is a GMM Podcast. Joining me today, we have Aussie swimming star Kaylee McKeown, 9-time Olympic medalist, coming off of the recent World Championships in Singapore, where she swept the backstroke, popping a PB in the 100-meter backstroke, 57.16, almost a PB in the 200 backstroke, 2:33.33, and she's taken some time off, taking it easy. She's resting her shoulder, which she had some dislocation problems, but she's back in the pool for about 5 days, and she's prepping for World Cup. She's committed to going. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about World Championships, and we're going to talk about the future. Kaylee McKeown. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
The last time I talked to you, you had a cold. You were coming off of Paris. You were swept the backstroke. And I was really thankful that you did the interview because you were sick. And you're like, I'm sick, but I want to get it done. You did it again. We're talking now after World Championships. You swept the backstroke, the 100 and 200 backstroke again. More gold medals. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's definitely been an interesting year, to say the least. So I'm excited to kind of deep dive into that.
A post-Olympic year, I always look for things that are outliers, and this is the one thing that stands out. Let's jump right at it. You popped a PB in the 100 backstroke.
Yeah, I know. It's been a really long time coming. I would have died to have done that time in Paris, or if not a bit faster. And everything that I had done in 2024 was leading to that direction. So it was such a nice surprise. And I really think that the nerves got the better of me in the best way possible in that final. You know, I knew I hadn't done the work. I didn't have the expectation to win on my shoulders. So I just kind of went out there and did the best that I could and ended up with a PB. And that's kind of just when I look back at my best meets and best times, that's always been the way that I've raced, is just freely.
Let's see here. I'm going back and I'm looking at your Paris time, 57.33, then you popped to 57.16. Nice little 0.2 to shave. Congratulations to you. I will say this, in our interview, you were very nice about our Team USA star Regan Smith, and you're like, you didn't know. Maybe Regan will be the first to go under 57. You're getting there faster. So you said that, and then you're getting there faster.
I'm not sure about that. She's still guns blazing in the 100 and the 200 and the 50. So it's always such an interesting rivalry between the two of us, and I love it. It brings the best out in the both of us, I think. And it was really nice at Worlds this year, just actually sitting and marshalling, and there's just a different feel, a different vibe. It was like we were both like, yep, this is how it is. We're both amazing athletes, both awesome backstrokers. It's just a matter of who's better on the day.
You were better on the day, and you had a great World Championships. It seemed like this was the World Championships of sickness, just out of the gate. Did you experience any sickness at these Worlds?
I didn't have the gastro that was flying around. I did kind of carry a bit of a shoulder injury throughout the whole Worlds meet. So I was loaded up on a few different things, which made me a bit constipated, which didn't leave me in a too good of a shape after the 200 backstroke. I don't know if you could see, I was kind of like trying to hold in a bit of a vomit. It's just because I couldn't go from either end. It was awful. And I was just like, somebody help me.
So you dislocated your shoulder early in your career, correct? And then it popped out again this past season. What happened?
So leading into Tokyo, I did pop my shoulder out and it caused a torn labrum. Not so bad this time, but it was just more so post it kind of was just irritating me a lot. Like some of the backstroke positions that I tend to get into, I couldn't get into because of it. And I've taken a bit of time getting back into the water now, just rehabbing it, getting it strong again so I can do the load at the end of the year leading into next season.
If you are out there listening and you haven't dislocated your shoulder, I have dislocated my shoulder and it really sucks.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling too. It's not nice.
It's doing it. Did you do it in the pool or did you do it?
Yeah, so we're actually doing short course and some dive efforts, and it was in the swim off. I just wasn't thinking, slapping my arms behind my head, and then just all of a sudden I was like, yep, there it goes. It happens.
If you're dislocating your shoulder, if you're on land, you can address it pretty well. But when you're in the water and it's 3-dimensional, I think it's weird. I dislocated my shoulder in the water, and it's like I think it's worse because you're struggling to get somewhere where you can put it back in. I also think it's a little like PTSD. You have some trauma around it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. As soon as I did it, I was like, here we go again. But like I said, you as athletes, you kind of just got to deal with that stuff and take it in your stride. And I've learned that over the years. It's just what we do to our bodies.
So you said you had to take some meds, and the meds made you constipated. Is that correct?
Yeah. So while everyone else was trying to get blocked up, I was trying to do the other opposite.
Okay. Gotcha. And that's not fun. But you taper, you peak. And the funny thing is, even with people dealing with sickness or injury, when you've done all this work, you can still, your body still responds and you still perform, and you perform. The assumption for any fan out there is that 57.16 was the highlight of your world championships, but I don't want to make assumptions, because I say that about some people and they're like, no, it's when I won a silver, or when I, break down your world championships for me. What this is a post-Olympic year. What did you take away from this world championships?
It was actually amazing for me because, like I said, I didn't go in well prepared at all. My mentality was just rocking up and seeing what I can do on the day. And that's exactly what I did, and surprised myself in the 100, surprised myself in the 200. I'm happy with both swims, cannot complain whatsoever. I think one thing that I was most proud of is sticking to the race strategy that I've always tried to do in a 200. And that's to come back in that 30 point. And, even though my second 50 was really slow, I was just happy that I was able to pace it the way that I wanted to and come back in that speed.
I mean, 203.33, is that correct? 203.33. Yeah, I mean, you're tight. You're right on it. So this is a high performance all the way around. Since Paris, since I talked to you after the Olympics and you were sick, did you take some time? Did you relax? How quickly did you get back into it? It's just this is a 4-year climb.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. It's been a shamble. The whole year. Coming back from Paris, there was a plan of taking 4 months off. And I knew throughout the whole career, as soon as I stepped up to be in the Griffith swim squad under Bowley, he said, I'm not going through till after Paris. I'm done. So I was kind of dreading that because I didn't know who was going to replace him, where I was going to end up. So that was always kind of lingering thought at the back of my mind, but I just wanted to take the cap and goggles off for a little bit and just unwind, relax. Tried to do World Cups. I just wasn't mentally ready for that. Came home within, I think, 4 days or something like that. So it's a bit of a running joke going around, seeing if I'm going to last the whole World Cups tour this year. Fingers crossed I will. And then, building back mid-January, early Feb, I just found myself not loving the sport. And quite often I'd like to think I go into the training environment wanting to work hard, push myself more and more, enjoying being around my teammates. But I was going into training almost crying in my goggles every session, just wanted nothing to do with anyone there. It's quite depressing, really. I'd just swim through the set. Usually you'd sit on the wall, talk to your teammates for a little bit and then move on to the next thing. But I just wanted to keep going. I just wanted in and out. I wanted nothing to do with it. And it took me about until April. I was I can't keep swimming like this. I'm just not happy, and decided to bite the bullet and move up to the Sunshine Coast and go back to my old team that I was with pre-Tokyo. And it's been the best thing for me. I'm back back where I grew up, and it's just got that nice homely feel to it, and still bouncing around. I've said to you earlier in the emails that I've finally got myself a home to live in when I come back from World Cup. So it's been, like I said, a shamble. I'm couch surfing, staying with friends, and I'm really blessed with the people that I have around me being able to support me through it.
So what I'm hearing is that lifestyle needs to be happy. You need to feel like you're at home and you're happy. And that was what was driving the depression and just feeling blue. And is that correct?
Absolutely. And I've always said it that a happy swimmer is a fast swimmer. I've swum my best when I'm at my happiest. And I think that really showed this year as well. It's like I've said, I hadn't done the work. I wasn't mentally ready to push myself, but I've built this foundation and support team around me that makes me the happiest within myself. And I've just found myself finding that love for the sport again. And it does take some time. I
mean, you've done so much. You've won so much. You keep sweeping the gold there from Tokyo, Paris, world champion. I find that once you get to the top of the mountain, it's sort of like you're trying to find purpose all over again, over and over and over.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you go to a sports psychologist or just a therapist? Do you, how do you manage that? How do you manage finding purpose when you've already achieved the most you can possibly achieve?
I've relied on my friends a lot this past year, to be honest with you. The friends that don't necessarily understand the sport of swimming, and just being able to vent to them and them have no idea what it's even like. And then also, of course, using a sports psychologist. That is 0 to none the absolute best thing that I've ever done for myself, is being able to confide in them and tell them my emotions and my feelings, because I do get very anxious and I wind myself up over expectation. And like you said, doing a clean sweep every single time, everyone just comes to think that that's going to be a regular thing, and it's not. And it really bothers me because I just want to swim because I love swimming. I don't want the expectation around it. And I have learned through my psychologist that pressure is a privilege, and I've got to live with that privilege if I want to keep performing the way that I want to perform.
If you could go back in time, pre-Tokyo, and like now you're the elder statesman and you could whisper in your ear and say, you've done everything well, but maybe this time do this. Do you have any advice? Any advice for yourself?
I just think to not take things so seriously. Like swimming isn't the end of the world. And I think using that mentality moving forward is also what drove me to swim the way that I did this year. Is just like, you know what? If I go 2:06, no one's going to, drown me in the pool for swimming slow. Like it's all on my shoulders. Like no one can control the way that I swim. I can't control the way that anybody else swims. And there's always going to be people who have opinions about you and the trolls on social media. But at the end of the day, like half of them couldn't even do a 50-meter sprint. So
you have trolls on social media? Who trolls you on social? I guess people do troll you on social media. I'm sure they troll you in the comments. I think some comments can be pretty brutal, but it seems like you really do pretty well in our comments.
Yeah. I actually have a filter on my phone where I've blocked out certain words so certain things don't pop up for me. So that was the best thing I did leading into Tokyo, and I did the same thing in Paris. So just keeping my mind on what I want to focus on.
I'm not going to call you out for saying that a 2:06 was slow in the 200-meter backstroke.
No,
it's not. 2:06 is blisteringly fast. Just so happens you go at, was it 2:03.14? All right. Well, I think that you have a lot of fans all over the world. You certainly have a lot of fans in the United States, and we appreciate you because at SwimSwam, whenever you and Reagan go head to head, we watch our traffic go like this. So it's becoming this big show. Reagan is going to have the time zone advantage in LA 2028. So what does that mean? Are you thinking through that? Am I the first person to say that?
No,
not
at all.
Does that factor in at all?
No, just the person that, and I already think 3 years in advance. And I'm thinking already just being in America, an Olympics and a home ground, like you have all the advantages. Full stop. So for me, I can't control any of that. And it goes back to just preparing the best that I can. And at the end of the day, if she beats me, that's great. Like she's on her home soil, good on her. If I beat her, same thing. If somebody else might come in the next 3 years and do better than both of us, you never know what's going to happen. But I've really set the goal for myself and leading into LA of just doing it for me and nobody else. Looking back on my career, when I went to Tokyo, it was for my dad in a way. Like I just wanted to show people that no matter what happens in life, you can either choose to pick yourself up and keep going, or you can just stay stagnant and feel sorry for yourself. And then leading into Paris, I didn't want to be that swimmer who had all these accolades behind them but couldn't get up and perform when it counted. So I so badly just wanted to prove that I wasn't a one-hit wonder. And like I said, leading to LA, I'm just like, this is for me. I just want to finish my swimming career. I'm not saying I'm not doing 2032, but that's a thought for after the games. I just want to go enjoy myself, enjoy the atmosphere. It's going to be wild. Like the US have spectators galore. So I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Fans are a little bit more engaged, I think, in Australia, but we are going to have 60,000 fans, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. As you're describing your career, and we had talked about purpose, if I would pin your film, the adaptation of your life as a film, and do it in 3 acts, it would be Dad in your first. And then I'm the champion. I have to prove myself. I got to prove that I repeat. That's a really big thing for athletes. And then as we come into older age and maturity, this is for you. So LA is for you. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. So I like those three acts of purpose.
Yeah. And like you said before, you have to kind of find new ways to develop yourself and improve in new ways. And that's where I'm heading towards.
We're going to have a nice test run next summer at Pan Pacific Championships. I haven't even looked at the dates. How does that compare to Commonwealth?
It's actually going to be a really tough year. Obviously, the Australians love Commonwealth Games and it's broadcasted really well here. So for image purposes, it's probably going to be the best meet for Australians to go to, but it's 10 days in between. So it's going to be really hard going from Commonwealth Games through to Pan Pacs. And for me, I'm trying to weigh up, do I want to be an Australian and make Australia proud by performing at Commonwealth Games, or do I want to go to what Swimming Australia calls our benchmark meet, which is Pan Pacs? So I'm still in the crossfire of trying to decide what I do. And I do have in the back pocket of, I still have the medley there. So whether I swim that at one or the other.
You have the medley at Commonwealth.
Potentially. I'm not sure. I'd seen that the Pan Pac pool's outdoors and I'm not a great...
We're going to see a medley I'm excited for you to do the medley.
Maybe. Or I'll just scratch Com Games and go straight to Pan Pacs. But even in saying that, I cannot swim outdoors to save myself. So I'm kind of dreading doing 50, 100, 200 backstroke, if I'm honest.
I think that let's talk this through. I think being such a big star, Rob Woodhouse is your chief executive. He would support you in this. I think you have to do it for the fans back home. And and also this might be your last quad. I think you need to, I think you do it for the feel good feelings. And if hand packs rolls, it's a bonus. My feeling is if you're all in at Commonwealth and you do well at Commonwealth, you're probably going, if you do well, you're still going to have things that you want to fix. I think that, you'll do well at hand packs too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. And it's still in the talks with my program and my coach. So we'll just see what comes to fruition in next year.
Help me understand this outdoor thing. It's just, backstroke outdoors is, I guess it's odd. Is it just, you need to have a roof, you need to be followed?
I just bounce all over the place. I can't swim in a straight line.
You're like a 10 and under.
Yeah. I've swum in outdoor pools my whole life. And for the life of me, I cannot swim straight. Even at training, we put up a rope for me so I can follow that. It drives me insane, to be honest.
Well, you actually need that outdoor experience because you're going to be outdoors in 2028.
Oh, is it? I thought they were putting a cover over the top.
Are they going to put a cover over the top? I don't know. We'll have to check. We'll check with the swim nerds and we'll double check that. Someone will call me out in the comments. I'm just going to let this ride and we'll let them call me out. I figured there'd be a top. It would be sort of bubbled, but there would be an opening in the center. So anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm going to get crushed in the comments for not knowing this. Swimming is the second event at the Olympic Games. That's all I think about. And swimming has always been first historically. And I think that was very, very important. I don't like that it's coming second. I like that when people are jonesing for their Summer Olympics after 2 years, the first thing they get is swimming. I think that really helps us in terms of overall global audience, but we will see. You mentioned maybe Brisbane 3032. That was a maybe. So that's a very tall order. It's a home Olympics, Sue. You're not taking it you're not taking the optional way.
Look, if my body and mind is going to let me swim to 2032, I'll absolutely keep training that way. And if I still have the love for the sport, absolutely, I'll keep doing it. But there's also a point in time where you've got to draw the line and decide if you want to end your career on a high or if you want to keep pushing to try and see if you can go better and better and better. At the moment, I know within myself that I've got more to give, but I don't know after the next 3 years if that's going to be the same pace. So it's just a matter of sitting tight and seeing how I perform in LA and seeing what happens and unfolds behind closed doors after that.
Brisbane is amazing. Swimming in your home Olympics is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And the 50s thing introduced as well, that's probably something that I would target over training for a 200. What will I be? I'll be 31 then. So 200s will be out the back door. Same with the 400 IM, out the back.
Here's the thing. This is the thing. You go to LA, you punch your tickets in LA. There's a big celebration. You take some time off, and then you do the Cam McAvoy training regimen where you lift weights for 5 months, and then you lift weights and swim like 200 or 300 meters 4 days a week. And you just do the 50. I don't know if you followed Cam's training, if you followed what he does.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's really hard because with the program that I've moved to now, it's so different to what Bowley was giving us session-wise and volume-wise. Like I'm used to being pummeled all the time, like session after session. And I love it. I've thrived off that because I've just been introduced to swimming in the sense of its old school mentality of thrashing your athletes and getting the best out of them every single day. Whether this new programming's like, no, we want to fuel you for the right sessions so you can just put all your power and speed into the one single effort. So it's a bit of a mental battle between, wanting to go the old school way of constantly putting yourself in a deficit and training hard or, peaking at the right time. So it's a constant sway between. So I don't know how I'd go doing Cam's little 1,200 meters twice a week or whatever he's doing, but it's working for him. It's working a treat.
But that would be post LA. That would just be if you're like, you test it. But your secret weapon is you're a closer. You close, always close.
Yeah.
And that's base. That's what we call honest work. You're doing honest work.
Yeah. You can't fake it.
So we interviewed Reagan. I asked Reagan this question, so I have to ask you the question. I said, Reagan, why can't Kaylee beat you on the leadoff on the medley relay? So I have to ask you, why can't you beat Reagan on the medley leadoff? What's going on? You sweep the 100 and 200, and then she gets you on the relay. I want you to explain it to me. I've already heard from her.
I honestly,
her answer was really sweet.
I don't know what it is. I think for me, as soon as I get to the end of the week, like I'm such an emotional athlete that I've just gone like this the whole week, and I'm just like put all my energy into my races, and I give everything for the team relays as well. But I just hype myself up so much, and I probably tried too hard. So yeah, that's probably what I could put it down to, is I'm just trying too hard to swim fast, and it's just not feeling the right ways or getting my hand on the wall first. And the US is so hard to beat on all 4 of the legs. Like they're just phenomenal. I mean, that's why they have the world record, right? So yeah, I think that having it if I was in their shoes and I knew that we were going to have a world record, I'd be feeling really good about myself too, and pumping out some great times.
It's a long meet. It's a lot of work. You see why exhaustion hits everybody. I've asked everybody that's, the sickness has sort of come up because of this world championships. I talked to some elites and they say, sickness is something we always deal with. We deal with, some people, every time they taper, they get sick. They start to rest their body and they get a cold, or they deal with digestive issues always on some level at big meets, or they finish a meet and they're exhausted, their immune system's down, and then they get a cold after the meet. Do you experience anything like that? Is that okay?
Yeah, leading into our trials, I got sick about a week before, and that's because I'm so used to just doing like a drop taper, and this time we decided to do a full 2.5 week taper, which I'm not used to at all. So my body was just like, what's going on? And then leading into Worlds, we did a bit more of a drop taper, and it worked a treat. And I think taking out the 50 and the 200 IM allowed my body to kind of just mellow out a little bit. Like it gave me a day to recover in between, and I didn't actually get sick off the back of the meet, which is the first time that that's ever happened. Like you saw me last year, I was absolutely crook as a dog, and during the last few days of Paris, fighting COVID. So it just goes to show that us athletes really do put ourselves on the line when it comes to the tough turtleneck of racing. Yeah.
Taper. Describe a taper. So in terms of volume, what does taper look like? And describe the drop taper. Like I'm confused. I mean, you're going full throttle and you drop it off, or the 2 week taper. What's the difference?
Honestly, I get so anxious about it. I just tend to not pay attention to it at all. I just kind of do what I told. I get really upset when I see everyone else getting out at 3K and I've got 5K on the board, But leading into this World Championships, I do believe the week I was still hovering around 5Ks with maybe 1 or 2 4K sessions in there. It wasn't till I got to Singapore where I dropped down to 4s and 3s. And that works. That worked for me there. So hopefully we can fine tune that over the next few years and get a real good taper in.
Kaylee, that's more than Cam does in a week.
I know. It's so sad.
Have you seen his weight training though? His weight training is ridiculous.
I could not do a single lift that he does.
Your last day of taper is more than his longest day.
Thank you for putting that into perspective. It makes me feel wonderful.
I just want you to know that. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure I always wanted to be a sprinter. It makes me bitter when these sprinters they're always getting out
very
early.
Jealous.
Right? Yes. All right. Well, SwimSwam reported today that the Australian Swimmers Association had signed their agreement with Swimming Australia, and I was like, wait a minute. You guys have an association that works on your behalf. We talked a little bit about it, but what do you know about the Australian Swimmers Association?
Not a great deal. I try to stay away from the politics of swimming and just swim. But from my understanding is the ASA does do its not even English. They basically just have athletes who have swum in the past on the Australian teams, and they liaise with Swimming Australia and all the organisations to have the best outcome for us athletes. And sometimes it's not the best outcome, but it's what they've managed to negotiate for us.
Your CEO, Rob Woodhouse, 1980s Olympian. I think he is in support of the athletes. I'm gonna frame it this way. We talked to Kyle Chalmers, and he's always fun to talk to. But he put it aptly. He goes, I'm really proud that Swimming Australia always punches above its weight. And I'm like, you know what, you do. And I was like, if swimming had a spirit animal globally, it'd be the dolphins. You guys, it's pretty inspiring what this swimming nation pulls off. But I didn't know about the association. And then I looked back and clicked back to I guess it was 2023. And I asked around, and it's really forward thinking. It's very interesting that, and in hearing this additional information. So older Olympians, older national team members from Swimming Australia are supporting current athletes. And I know it's for a percentage of partnerships with Swimming Australia and a percentage of television rights. And that is pretty cool because that doesn't exist in the United States.
Yeah. I think swimming, in the grand scheme of things, compared to other sports, we really don't get paid for what we do. Like, for example, if I was as good as I was as a swimmer, as a tennis player, I'd be making millions, but it's just not a thing. So we're lucky that we swim because we love it.
I know you're with Speedo. Who else are you with?
Omega, which you say Omega?
It's Omega. Those are two big sponsors. Speedo is a great partner, but it's nice to know that you have additional support and that former team members within this association are advocating on your behalf. I'm going to push former teammates in the United States to create a similar organization, because I can tell you that our current athletes in the United States do not receive a percentage of the sponsorships or any of the television rights. And that's really forward thinking.
Yeah. And I think it takes the pressure off current athletes too, having to even think about that. And the knowledge that ex-swimmers have in that position now at the ASA, they understand where we come from as current athletes and want to make it as easy as it is for us to just get out there and swim.
Do you feel supported? Do you feel supported at Swimming Australia? Is it, is this, I know there's a point of pride, but it's a,
I think Swimming in Australia compared to other nations is quite small in terms of our funding. And we do the absolute best that we can with the money that we get given, and the support staff that we have on team that go away with us. They bend over backwards to make sure that we're okay and provided with the best outcomes. Even the day after World Championships finished, we had all our current athletes that were on that team in a meeting, and we just kind of put forward what we would like to see leading into next kind of Olympic stages. And that included maybe taking our personal chef, so we don't have to kind of go through all those gut health issues and just have those comforts that we used to at home.
Sounds like a debrief makes a whole lot of sense if you're trying to be the best in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it is. It is late at night here, and I know that you have more appointments, and I told you I wouldn't hold you very long. Is there anything else? Is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about?
No, I'm really happy with that, and I'm stoked that you guys allowed me to come on again.
Are you kidding me? I expect you to come on every single month between now and LA 2028. Do I have a commitment?
Luck gonna lock me down. It was hard enough to get a time slot today.
It was hard enough. Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. See you later.